Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the author, AuthorASnorton, and we are out here in Metro Atlanta. I usually do the weekly live chat, the Fast 15, at about this time, usually about 1:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm usually in the comforts of like the office or what have you. But today, after grabbing lunch, I figured, let me do something as a change of pace. So we've got 180 Life _180 show, thanks for joining. And then Kelly Marie Taylor 1971, thanks for joining. So last Wednesday, took a little bit of a breather for the holidays, things along those lines. And I just finished having a great lunch, great business lunch. So shouts to Tina Marie PR. Thank you so much for taking time out. And then I'm like, I've got some downtime, so let me do it a little bit different. And part of what I like to do is go for a walk. I usually walk a little bit earlier in the morning, but I figured while I have the time, let me go ahead and do it. And I tell you what, it's a pretty day out here in the A, upper 60s. It's December 1st, y'all. Come on, the last month of the year. It's great out here. So I'm just going to go for a walk and see if I can find a nice spot to sit. But yeah, so typically what we do, we take about 10-15 minutes, kind of pause, check up, check in, look at a passage from a favorite book that I've written or recorded, or a favorite book that I've read before, and close out on a positive note. So, you know, today, after taking a week break, just want to do things just a little bit differently. You know, like sometimes you need to change up. So I'm going to show you where I am as I'm out here. Look how beautiful a day it is, y'all. Sometimes you got to take a piece of your own advice and just stop and smell the roses. So the only Zay joining. So this is one of the parks that's not too far from where I had lunch. And I'm like, let me just get out and do something a little bit different. Like, it's a nice day out here. You see the sun is shining. I'm going to turn this back on to me. Yeah, so I think I usually don't sit at a park bench, but I'm going to sit at a park bench for a minute and just do something different. Still do the checkup, check in, make sure everybody's doing all right. Send out an encouraging word or an encouraging note to people who are definitely in need. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to go ahead and get on one of these classic seats right here. And I'm going to just talk for a couple minutes. We're going to get back to the usual, but you know, every once in a while you need to change up. So I'm going to enjoy this metallic seat right here. So first off, I really do hope everyone's doing well. I hope last week everyone had a great holiday, whether you traveled, you stayed in, you volunteered, you caught up on some sleep. I hope everyone had as good of a holiday weekend last weekend as possible. I know for some people the holidays can be a challenge when you think of family members, friends, and loved ones who are with us spiritually and not physically. It's tough. I know personally one of my good friends, her father passed, so I was able to attend his service on the Sunday leading up to the holiday week. And then last Tuesday, one of my fraternity brothers, who's 2 years older than me, Brother Pat Kelly, I was at his service. But I know I'm not the only one who has had to recently bury a family member, friend, or loved one, or even if it's something that happened earlier this year, last year, previous years. I know that the holidays can be a tough time for people. And if you notice, anytime we do the live chats, I always start off by giving a word of encouragement. So if that applies to you, Black Sphinx 06, thank you for joining. But if this applies to you or anyone you know, if you are kind of going through it this holiday season because that spouse is no longer there, that parent is no longer there, that relative, that best friend, if they are just with us spiritually instead of physically, please note that there are people that are praying with you, praying for you, praying that each day gets a little bit better, that you cherish those memories, and it lets you know how big an impact that person or those people had. So if that applies to anybody out there going through it with the holidays, because it's not always a festive time for people, I'll just be point blank, it's not. So if you're one of those folks, our prayers, our words of encouragement, condolences are with you. And we also encourage as best as possible, do what you can to redirect your energy. If redirecting your energy is something like what I'm doing, I'm sitting out here at a park bench on a nice late fall day. If it means going for a walk, if it means changing your diet, if it means, your fitness routine, if it means that you need to talk with a mental health professional, please do what you can to positively pivot. We don't want you to feel like you're stuck in an adverse situation, especially during the holidays. So if that applies to any of you or someone you know, please give them a word of encouragement and encourage them that while you have every right to feel some type of way, you don't want to be stuck there. On the flip side, there are a number of people that are having good things happening to them. Some people release the books. Some people learn how to tie their shoes or whatever. There are good things that are out there, even though they don't always get talked about or they don't always get reported about. So if you're one of those people, you got out of bed this morning, you finally started exercising, you finally learned how to cook something, you decided, I'm going to pause and pump my brakes for a little bit and enjoy some fresh air, which is kind of what I'm doing. Hey, congratulations to you, and keep building off those positives, especially during this time of the year. But let's not forget about those people that really might be going through something, because that was us and that could be us. So while your spirits are up, your spirits are good, please encourage somebody. And when they're not, just remind yourself that you'll gradually get through it in some way, shape, or form. It'll look different and be different, but you'll get through it. In regards to the passage, I don't really necessarily, I know I didn't pack any of my books with me. That's a whole nother story, don't get mad. But I'll say a book that I think definitely speaks to the themes that we talked about would be 9 Stories of Faith. That's the second book that I wrote. And I want to thank everybody that was a part of it, because they opened up about what their biggest daily challenges. People opened up about living with a physical health issue, a mental health issue, life after incarceration, life after a family member passes. But they opened up and shared how, through the lens of their faith, best practices in health and wellness, the use of their support network, and how they've changed their way of thinking, that they were able to turn the corner. And they were able to still do powerful and positive things despite the negatives that are there. So I don't necessarily have a passage. I'll have a passage for everybody next week. But if there's a book of mine that I would suggest, especially knowing how the holidays can be jacked up for some people, I would go with 9 Stories of Faith as that choice. Definitely. Don't get me wrong. The other ones are great. The books, the audio books are awesome. But I'd say the piece that's probably going to be the most timely for some people that are struggling would be 9 Stories of Faith. But yeah, we're doing the live chat a little bit differently, and that's okay. Every once in a while you change up. We'll go back to the typical 15-minute structure. There's a little bit more freestyle, but I'm going to flip this around and maybe you guys can see what I'm seeing. You might see the airplane that's out there. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a big old Delta Airlines. Shouts to Delta Airlines being out here. But here I am at one of the practice fields, the combo football, soccer. It's pretty out here, y'all. It's a great day. Like, if the weather is nice where you are, see the sun shining. If it's a sunny day where you are, try to get out for like 15 minutes. You don't have to jog. You don't have to run. But just get out. Just get out and enjoy the fresh air. Even now, and I know there's helicopters because further down the road there's some type of, I don't know if there's an accident or gas line, or I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so I guess the note is, just like we try to do, and just take a moment to pause, just pause for a few. Get outside, sit down, let the wind hit you. Just kind of, be anonymous for a minute or two. It's okay. They'll find you, and you'll find them. So I guess a couple of quick announcements. I was about to say a few announcements. This Saturday, shouts to my alma mater, Wake Forest University. They are the Atlantic Division winners in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They are playing against the Pitt Panthers in the ACC Championship. Shouts to everybody on the team, especially, 2 of my fraternity brothers are on the team, and then another good person who's from my hometown or the area where I went to high school is on there too. So shouts to the squad. Go ahead and beat Pitt. Yes, I know Pitt's quarterback is an alumnus of my high school. That's wonderful. And yes, I know a couple of good people that went to Pitt, but having said all that, go Deeks. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing personal. Hey, go Deeks. So shouts to Socialite in the City, who's historically done some great work, especially with the Hank Stewart Foundation. So make sure to connect with Socialite in the City when you get a chance. But this Saturday, shouts to the squad. Hopefully they take home the ACC championship. Next Wednesday, December 8th, I'll be back to the regular format of the Fast 15. Also on December 8th will be the next edition of my full broadcast show, The Conversation Corner, on the Status Network, the live TV channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, your favorite social media platforms, the network's website and smart app. December 11th, shouts to Styletainment Entertainment up in New Jersey. So December 11th is their Old Hollywood Gala. Please get your tickets. 6 to 7 p.m. is the red carpet. 7 to 12 is the main event recognizing breast cancer survivors. There will be a comedian there. One of the DJs from WBLS up in New York will be spinning on the 1s and 2s. Silent auction. There will also be a winter supply drive. So yes, it's going to be a great event, but a great event with a purpose. I'll serve as one of the red carpet correspondents. So shouts to the entire crew at Styletainment. And if you didn't catch the broadcast the day before Thanksgiving, you want to make sure you check it out. So inbox me or add me for details. That'll be on the 11th. And we've got another author, Argina Canum. Thank you. If I mispronounce that, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. Shouts to the fellow authors doing their thing out here too. Seriously, we're needed. I don't care what genre, whatever. Shouts to them. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Shouts to the Black Only Awards for the nomination. I know I had to excuse myself a little bit early from that, but shouts to them for putting together an event that you can see where it can grow and you can see where it can go. So shouts to them. I'm trying to think if there's anything else big coming up that I need to announce. There'll be some other stuff on the horizon. Shouts to the members of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Especially here in Metro Atlanta, it is Founders Week. There are events that are open to the public. To make it simple, just add Alphas of Atlanta on your social media platforms. And then Saturday is Founders Day, December 4th. So I'll say this, happy early Founders Day to all my fraternity brothers. I'm also going to say happy birthday in advance to a fraternity brother of ours, Sean D. Brown, doing his thing with his 2-way contract with the LA Lakers. So shouts for pursuing your dream. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else, because I'm going to continue to walk around and enjoy this beautiful weather. But I'll say this, like I usually close out, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory, especially when you know what you've been led through in order to get there. So I'll post this on my Facebook page. But real quick, before we wind down with this, Black Sphinx 06, thank you so much. Happy early Founders Day. Happy Founders Week. Keep doing the good things you're doing. Arjanak Anum, author, thank you. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Inbox me for the correct pronunciation. You keep doing the good things you're doing. Socialite in the City historically has been so many great things in arts and creatives and all that. So definitely connect with her. The only _Zay, good to see you. Shouts with all that you're doing. Kelly Marie Taylor, 1971. Hey, we're still sending blessings and words of encouragement your way, partner. And then 180 life _180 show. Thank you so much. Looking forward to catching back up with you. So we're going to get ready to wind down, enjoy a little bit of this weather. And then I've got to wear my educator hat. I'm actually teaching SAT prep classes for one of the high schools this afternoon. But to stay connected with me, add me on Facebook at the page AuthorASnorton. Go to Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube and add AuthorASnorton. And when you add me here on Instagram, click on the link in the bio. It has all my press and media info in there. So that way, and then if you have questions, you can inbox me or you can email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com, whether it's for a speaking request or if the holidays you would like to get a personalized copy, like me personalizing, signing copy of any of the books, things along those lines, hit me up. We'll get that to you. Any of the merch. Shouts to 1906 Tees, as we kind of in our IG stories dropped the teaser for the new merch coming. Probably we'll have that up and running by next week, but I'll have the prototype real soon, so you want to check that out. All right, I guess we're good. Let me get back out and enjoying this walk and getting ready to teach a class in about an hour and a half. But all of you, take good care, be safe. Thank you so much for supporting. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory. And on that note, y'all take good care, and I'll see you real soon. Oh, if I can hit X, see you real soon.